I feel, oh, Mr. T, huh? Well, I pity the food that has to follow up that presentation.
Also, if you want, I have a cultural exchange playlist on YouTube that you can show to your students, and if you want to make some, you can send them back and forth. If you want to, I'll share it with whoever wants.
What's your YouTube channel? What's your handle?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'll give it to you. I'll find out.
Okay.
All right, we're going to pause for technical difficulties. We'll hear. Christian, tell us about yourself. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name's Christian. I'm from Canada, not Ireland. I've lived in Taiwan for 14 years. I've lived in the same town for 14 years. I'm married. I have a small child. Her birthday was just the other day, literally. So, happy birthday, and then next morning pack up and leave. So, it was a nice little party. But I'm very nervous. I have my podium there, my security blanket, and hopefully it goes well. Hopefully these videos work. That's not me.
She's just making, she's planning ahead for their...
Yeah, we've solved the problem.
Okay.
If you keep having issues, if you run VLC Media Player, it's really stable with videos. It doesn't cause that pixelation.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we're using this.
It should. David, how much did your house cost? Oh my God, with the farm?
All right. Good morning, everyone. Again. I've written everything out, so I'm just going to read straight from my cue cards. I'd like to thank all the presenters so far to this point. You've given me a lot to think about. I can see that I have a lot to do when I get back home if I want to come even close to what you guys have presented so far. So I just have some questions to start to ask you. So if any of these apply to you, just raise your hand, please. Have you been on a plane before coming to Taiwan?
Yes.
Have you visited another country before coming to Taiwan? Have you driven a motorcycle or scooter before coming to Taiwan? Successfully?
Oh,
Have you ever heard of stinky tofu before coming to Taiwan?
That's sticky tofu.
Stinky also. Did anyone not raise their hand?
Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't raise your hand? No? Me either. I'd never been on an airplane. I didn't have a passport. I had no idea what sticky tofu was. Yeah, all these things. I was ignorant about a lot of this stuff. So, a little bit about me and where I came from, so a brief history. In 2004, I had a choice to make, leave or stay. I'd finished my teaching degree, but for whatever reason, I did not obtain my license. My license didn't come. So, we were almost into October, well, we were in October, and I had no license, I couldn't work. Student loan was calling, they wanted their money right away, like, okay, so what do I do? A friend of mine was living in Taiwan at the time, and he said, just come on over, like, just 1 year, make some money, meet some people, do some things, and then back to Canada. So I came and accepted a job at a crane school, okay? Crane school, Bushiban, and that's where I was. For 5 years, I stayed at that same school. In 2009, I returned to Canada. Okay? So in 2009, after 5 years, I felt it was time to return home. It was time to, this Taiwan experience was over, it's time to go on to something else. So with my girlfriend, Taiwanese, we motored back to Canada and tried to find work. The island I live on has about 100,000 people. On the substitute list, there were 5,000 teachers. So work was impossible. The only work I got was through my mother, who was a nurse. So patience she had. Oh, you're a principal? Oh, my son's a teacher. So literally, I would call up these principals that my mother had worked with in hospitals and said, I'm a substitute teacher, do you have any work? And that's what I got. There was nothing else, nothing else. In 2010, I returned to Taiwan to become a supervisor of foreign staff at the same school I was at. We couldn't make it go. My girlfriend left, she left me, came back to Taiwan, and I was like, what am I going to do? Student loans still hanging over my head. It was like, I can't do anything here, so I had to go back and just work. So the same school took me back, I became a supervisor. And not really knowing exactly what that meant, I just took the job. Like, what do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? So basically involved becoming the welcoming committee and dealing with the personnel, the foreign personnel. So if you had to set up a cell phone, I was the guy you talked to. If you needed to learn how to drive a scooter, I was the guy who taught you. If you had a problem, personal or professional, I was your sounding board. So literally anything. Calls. One of our teachers ran into a grocery store and broke the wall. I was like, okay, get there. It's not even our teacher. It's another foreign teacher from another school. Well, this isn't my job. Well, his school won't help him. Well, we're here now. Okay, let's talk it through. So, and that hole is still in the wall. In 2015, it was time to leave again. 10 years now at the same school. We gotta go. My wife, during this time, my wife was promoted to the boss. So now my wife is my boss at school and the boss at home. It was getting too much.
Is this a new girlfriend that came back to you? Or
No, I went back to her. I begged and pleaded to take me back. So, yeah, so it was time. You couldn't get any vacation time. You cripple the school. If one leaves, then okay, but for a couple, we want to leave together. So it was time to leave. We just had a baby, like my parents had never seen. It was time to get back home. We had to go home. In 2016, I was discovered. So we came back to Taiwan after a vacation in Canada, and we were at a bakery. And the owner of the bakery comes up to my wife and, does your husband want to talk to a principal? Okay, let's talk to a principal. That was Tuesday. Thursday, we were in negotiations. Monday, I started. That's how it went. I was not looking for it. I was going to take it easy for a couple of months. Enjoy Kenting, go places, see Taiwan. Never been to Hualien, 14 years. No, never been. Pengwu, I was telling Wilhelmina, Typhoon. I have no luck with these kind of things. So I was going to take it easy, but this job came up, got a family to support, gotta go to work. All right, so things I've learned in the Crane school system. It may be called a school, but it's really a business. It's really a business. From handing out flyers and advertisements at elementary schools, to class sizes, to enrollment, everything is geared towards business. Okay, you're always reminded of how many kids you have. Are you losing kids? Are you gaining kids? Everything is geared towards that. Students need equal doses of entertainment and education. The parents are looking for results. Okay, failure is not an option, not an option. And the kids are looking for entertainment. This teacher isn't fun, okay? You have to do something about that. What are you going to do? So, if they became unhappy, either or, parents or students, they left. They were gone. There's one day there, next day gone. And sometimes you'd never get an explanation. Just gone. Personally, I had one student quit, or mommy pulled him out of school, because I looked at the clock too much. I want to keep the class going, check the time, look, keep going, keep going. She flipped out and left. That was it. That was it, that simple. There was a song for everything, and everything needed a song. Everything. You could not teach anything without having a song to go with it. And a dance. And a dance. You had to dance to everything. Yeah. So, now I'm song and dance with everything. And after 10 years, it's kind of ingrained in me. So now even in crane school, I still think, what song can I do here? What dance do I need to do? The happiest day at the Bushy Band was the day I discovered the DVDs. And all the dances were on there. I didn't have to think of these things anymore, so it was good. You're always the last to know. A decision is made involving you or not involving you, you're the last one to find out about it. Okay? And I was the supervisor. Like, I should be in the loop. My wife is the boss. I should really be in the loop. Not the case. Okay? I'd like to blame it on the language barrier. The owners of the school, they don't speak any English. Okay? It never comes. All right. Teaching activities and instructions. Chat time. Chat time is where a small group of students come together and engage in small talk. Ideally. Ideally. In theory, it's a great opportunity for students to use what they know in a meaningful way. Not so. The problem is that often the students don't have the necessary vocabulary or knowledge to make it work. So we're just sitting there and I'm talking and they're nodding. Or just, yes, no, yes. So, oh, chat time video. Okay, so here's the video. So this video is me at the beginning. The principal has set in a room, he's bought furniture, he tried to make an environment where the kids speak and interact and everything, but after the first couple lessons, I'm like, this is not working. We can't have any conversation at all, so we had to start from basics just with flashcards and getting them to engage, so. Now what do I press? What is it?
Double click the video. Just double click.
Yes.
Double click here.
Drag it to the one.
Oh, she said to drag the video.
Click it.
Oh, okay.
Great. Pencil. Pencil? No, pencil. Yes, no. Yes. Okay. George, pencil. George. Ryan, pencil. Pencil. George. Oh, yeah. Yes? Teacher, yes? 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 Teacher. Teacher. Okay. Ryan, please. Ryan. No. George. Ray. Crayon. Yeah. What's crayon in Chinese? Okay, crayon. Say crayon.
Okay, so, yeah, so basically just the classroom items. Because even in the classroom, taking a pencil, they're taking out an eraser, or they're just staring at me, like, it's the basic things. We need to know this vocabulary. If students were grouped into by ability and not by class, I think the results would improve. Okay? The problem here, I know grouping kids by different abilities together generally makes everyone better, but some of these kids have no experience with English at all, but on the other hand, some of the kids do go to crane school, and then they're dominating the group, and the other kids don't get to participate. So if I had a chance to group them by ability, I could focus more on what they need for each group. Teaching phonics. I knew a little bit of phonics and how they work before coming to Taiwan. Okay, when I went to school, they cut out phonics in school. It was a whole English approach to phonics. So I knew all phonics, but I didn't know how phonics worked. So I really had to learn on the fly when I came here. Yeah, so listening to the CDs at the school, at the Bushy Dam. I was telling Isley, I got into a big row with the teacher one day about how to spell, or how to pronounce hawk. I would say hawk, she would say hawk. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, no, and like I'm pulling the CD, I'm playing it in the office, everyone's like, what's going on here? I'm like trying to tell her, like, no, this is, but she had learned it the British way and I had learned it the American way. It soon became clear that pronunciation of phonics was going to be a big part of my job. Okay, I'm sure everyone's run into fu, 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 foo, 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 or yes, or thank you very much. It's one of the reasons I short my name. My name is Christian, but I changed it to Chris because everything came out teacher question. And then even at teacher Chris, they mangle that into teacher quiz. So, and they know it's a big thing with me. I'm always about pronunciation. I'm trying to get it right anyway. I have another video, but I only have 2 minutes left, so I'm just gonna, it's me working on pronunciation. A lot of the time when I do pronunciation and phonics and words, I use hand gestures, TPR, total physical response. So, what letter, what sound, what word. So, and it cues the kids as to what they should say at the time. It really helps because sometimes I'll just say letter and they'll give me the phonics. I'm like, I asked for the letter, not the phonics, so you just give me the right thing. Other visual clues, letter family mix-up and long vowel walkabout. Okay, so letter family mix-up, so the two A-T, at, so at, and then I gradually move my hands together faster and faster and faster. And long vowel walkabout, I take a student by the hand, we walk around the classroom. I'm the long vowel sound, they're the silent partner. So I just walk around A, and the other partner is quiet. They can't pronounce that vowel sound. Practical games and activities, okay. I really want to get to the co-teaching because I see and I hear that it's a really big part of your classes and I have a real big problem with it. At the beginning of the term, we discussed content, schedule, events, and etc. It seemed pretty normal, topic, things are going to happen, what you need to do, things like that. If I have a problem or an issue, I go to her. If she needs something, she comes to me. This is what we do. She does not come to my class, I do not go to hers. We do not talk about lesson plans. We do not engage in any kind of sort of educational conversation at all. I do not know what is expected in co-teaching. And I'm not completely sure she knows either. When I told her I had to give in lesson plans at the end of every month, she didn't know why. I asked, do you need to do that? She said, no, I don't need to do that. But I had to hand in the lesson plan. This is the extent of our working relationship. I'm not opposed to this agreement, changing, but I'd like some guidance. Okay? Would be appreciated. And Spencer has before class, during the class, and after class, really some idea, like something. Yeah, my time's up. All right, good. Thank you.